Chapter 78, Too Easy. Metropolis City. West of the city. The land to the west of the city was cloudy, with mountains, countless crags and canyons, and extremely humid surroundings. Li Shenji stood in the middle of a valley, listening to his subordinate's report. "Battalion Master, there are too many bats here. It's quite difficult for us to explore." "Yes, only vampires and bat demons live here. We pretended to be vampires passing through the 4 directions earlier, and we were almost discovered." A crowd of subordinates complained amongst themselves. Li Shenji's face was grim as he twisted his head to look at Yi Divine Needle on the side. Yi Divine Needle shook his head slightly and said, "Lord Li, if I can help you, I will naturally assist you with all my might." "There's nothing I can do." Yu Shenji shook his head. "The saint should have sent someone else besides me and Gu Hai, right?" Li Shenji's eyes narrowed slightly as he looked towards Yi Divine Needle. Yi Divine Needle was silent for a moment and did not answer. Li Shenji revealed a faint smile. "We're in the light and they're in the dark. Do you know how dangerous it is for us to be in the light?" His Holiness naturally considered the danger. That's why rescuing Gongyang Sheng is a first-class heavenly feat. Yu Shenji shook his head. Li Shenji nodded with a gloomy face. At this time, another group of Shenji battalion disciples came quietly. "Battalion Master, we just captured a few bat demons and conducted some force questioning, eventually locking down a place. Only that underground palace, they haven't been there either. Only the bat ancestor is inside. I don't know if he's there or not." A Divine Mechanism battalion disciple said in a deep voice. "Oh, finding the approximate place, good." Li Shenji said in a deep voice. That Divine Mechanism battalion disciple immediately pointed out the location. "That Yin Mist area." Li Shenji said in a deep voice. "Not bad." Li Shenji looked at a place surrounded by Yin Mist in the distance. Li Shenji's face turned ugly for a moment, looking into the distance. It was extremely unfortunate to just give up and let his own people lure out the bat ancestor. These subordinates of his own would not be able to achieve the goal of luring out the bat ancestor. The bat ancestor would come out and swallow them in one bite. "That's fine. I'll go and lure out the bat ancestor. Unique Yi, please go to the place where the bat ancestor came out and investigate." Li Shenji said in a deep voice. "This is fine." Yi Divine Needle smiled faintly. Li Shenji nodded and probed his hand to take out a mask, covering his face. After making a slight arrangement, Li Shenji dodged the crowd, and with a sway of his body, he rushed towards that shadowy fog area. Boom. "What kind of person? Stop. Asshole. What is it that dares to break into Bat Valley? Seek death." Boom. At that moment, Li Shenji deliberately stirred up trouble, and all of a sudden, a longsword, slaying in all directions around the Bat Valley. Boom. Finding an opening, Li Shenji blasted and chopped on top of the mountains and rocks in the Yin Mist region. Immediately, a large mountain exploded into pieces. "Patriarch, it's bad. Someone is intruding. Supreme Ancestor, help." Amidst the roaring, Li Shenji caused chaos in that Yin Mist area, unbridled. In the Yin Mist region, there was a steep roar. Steeply. Bats that covered the sky erupted out, and the bat ancestor appeared steeply with a gloomy face. Li Shenji chopped away with a sword. Boom. Li Shenji was undefeated and instantly shot off into the distance. Where to go? Bat ancestor's eyes glared as he also chased after him. Swoosh. The 2 great powerhouses disappeared into the sky in the twinkling of an eye. Yi Divine Needle's eyes narrowed slightly as he stepped and swayed towards that area. And at the edge of this group of mountains, Long Shenwu and Sima Changkong also looked coldly into the distance. Hey, Li Shenji has already lured away the bat ancestor. "Mr. Sima, take care of yourself. I'll be right back," Divine Martial King said in a deep voice. As he spoke, the Divine Martial King's figure shifted and disappeared. In the middle of the underground palace, Before Li Shenji struck, Gong Yongsheng sat in the blood water cage and looked at the bat ancestor in front of him with a cold smile. Returning without success. Hey ha. It's useless for you to compete with me. You have the ability to go and trouble my great Chen mission. Hey ha. Gong Yongsheng coldly said. Humph, don't be complacent either. The day you don't crack that 81 palace diagram, the day you don't want to go out, Bat Ancestor said coldly. 81 palace diagram. Hey, if I crack it, you guys will let me go. Gong Yongsheng coldly said. Heh. That may not be the case. It depends on Shu's attitude. Who made your research in the 9 palace diagrams so in depth? Bat Ancestor said coldly. 81 palace diagrams. Is this a seal, or is it an entrance? What exactly is sealed? Gong Yongsheng was puzzled. You don't need to know, you just need to unlock it, Bat Ancestor said in a cold voice. Gong Yongsheng smiled coldly and closed his eyes without answering. HMPH. If you don't untie it, your book spirit will be worn clean. You really don't care about your book spirit, Bat Ancestor said in a deep voice. Gong Yongsheng's eyelids jumped a little, but still didn't agree. Heh. Take your time to think about it. Don't wait until the book spirit is depleted clean before deciding. I'll see how much longer you can hold out. The Bat Ancestor let out a cold snort, saying that. Bat Ancestor's body sank to the bottom of the blood pool. At the bottom of the blood pool, the further down it went, the higher the temperature became. The Bat Ancestor had been unable to find the cause. Underground heat. The Bat Ancestor had reached the bottom of the blood pool and even ploughed through some of the earth and rocks. But, under the soil and rocks, not hot at all. This heat, as if out of nowhere, scorching hot. The Bat Ancestor had been cultivating here for a long time, and still couldn't find the cause. Alas, where on earth did the heat come from? How many years have I been here? There must be a secret here. I didn't even tell Shu. But, why just can't I discover it? Bat Ancestor was in the middle of his depressed research, rumble. Steeply, an angry sound came from the outside world. The Bat Ancestor's face turned cold, and he instantly surfaced on the surface of the blood pool. Patriarch, help. Supreme Ancestor, someone is intruding. Help, rumble. The outside world rumbled in all directions. Coming to save me. Gong Yongsheng's eyes steeply lit up. Bat Ancestor coldly looked at Gong Yongsheng. Save you. Oh, my great formation outside here. Unless the great Qian sage comes, otherwise, no one will be able to break it open for a short period of time. Not necessarily, Gong Yongsheng laughed. Bat Ancestor's eyes narrowed slightly. Looks like it really saved you. Hey, just in case, you'd better sleep for a while. As he spoke, he steeply slapped his palm up of Gong Yongsheng's forehead. Buzz. A large amount of red light immediately emerged from Gong Yongsheng's face, followed by his eyes closing and fainting out. Seeing Gong Yongsheng faint to death, Bat Ancestor immediately rushed out of the underground palace. Unbridled, with a loud shout, Bat Ancestor met the masked man's sword. Boom! A palm shattered the masked man's sword dipper, and the masked man turned his head and ran. Where to go? Bat Ancestor let out a cold snort and stepped forward to chase after him with a loud boom. Outside, there was a mess. The Bat Ancestor was gone. Countless bat demons guarded the 4 directions with palpitating hearts. Right at this moment, 2 more air currents attacked. Who? Yet another 2 masked figures suddenly appeared. 2 more. Not good. The Supreme Being has been tricked. Block them. A crowd of vampires and bat demons were instantly shocked and furious as they came towards the 2 to kill them. The 2 masked men glanced at each other, as if forming some sort of tacit understanding. One masked man wielded his sword and blasted to block the crowd of bat demons and vampires. The other masked man, however, steeply blasted down with a palm. Boom! The earth shook violently, but suddenly countless blood-colored nets emerged from the void, covering the sky and earth towards the two masked men. Not good. Bat ancestor left. It was intentional. Trapped. The other black-robed man's face changed. Buzz. The blood-colored net carried a huge fishy aura, instantly sealing all the ways out for the two masked men. Boom. The two men instantly fought with their swords and chopped at the large net, which trembled slightly, but remained unbroken. Boom, boom, boom. The two masked men were tired of dealing with the blood net. In the distance, Sima Changkong's face sank. The strongest formation of the Daiwan Imperial Dynasty, the Blood Luo Great Net Formation. The outside world was in chaos, and in the middle of the underground palace, gulp, golem, gulp. Gu Hai, Long Wenyu, and Ziwei abruptly appeared on the surface of the blood pool. Gong Yong Sheng, Long Wenyu looked at the white-robed man who was trapped not far away and was surprised. Gong Yong Sheng fainted and had a large number of blood-colored chains wrapped around his body. Gong Yong Sheng, it can't be. Great Jiansen's mission. It's too easy, isn't it? Gu Hai revealed a wave of bewilderment. This was too much of a coincidence, right? Gu Hai and Long Wenyu slowly approached. Not long ago, Yi Divine Needle had given himself the portrait of Gong Yangsent, and it was him correctly. Gu Hai, Long Wenyu, and Ziwei turned around in the underground palace. At once, they saw some utensil supplies. This is where the Bat ancestor lives. Bat Valley. Long Wenyu was surprised. Where is the Bat ancestor? Ziwei also said blankly. Don't think about that much. Let's leave quickly right away. Gu Hai immediately said in a deep voice. Arriving beside Gong Yong Sheng, he looked at the single blood-colored chain. Dang! The life execution blade blasted down, and instantly, all the chains were cut off. Go. Let's go quickly. It'll be bad if the Bat ancestor comes back later. Gu Hai said in a deep voice. The crowd nodded at once. Hu. Returning from where they came from, they soon saw the half-bodied Chongsheng at the bottom of the blood pool. Why are you guys carrying someone back? Eternal Life was stunned as he looked at the ramscent carried on Gu Hai's shoulders. Leave first. Gu Hai shook his head. The crowd grabbed Eternal Life and were pulled out by Eternal Life, all of them. Hu. The crowd instantly returned to the previous small space. Ka. The blood pool above the small space was connected to the Bat ancestor's underground palace, and on the blood pool below, with less suppression from the fire gourd, a bunch of red runes, a large number of cracks appeared. Ka. There were more and more cracks, and even the faint sound of hooves came from below. What's down here? Is coming out. Ziwei looked at the constantly shattering runes in amazement. Quickly go, brother-in-law, a great evil omen. It's too dangerous. Long Wenyu said with horror on her face. Go. The four of them carried Gong Yong Sheng and quickly passed through the tunnel they came from, heading towards the outside world.